Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is part 77 of Chastity. Hey, I'm finding out how to pronounce her name. Chastity. Chastity writes. So yeah, this is her continuation. So let's hear her. If you are just coming across this story, the playlist is in the description. Kindly go start from part 1. It's very, very important that you start from part 1. Guys, let's continue.
Part 77 of How I Married a Man That Didn't Exist. Are y'all getting tired of parts yet? No? Okay, let's keep going. So, once again, I did not mention anything to Emily until I was sure I had this apartment. So, I got the email and the call on Thursday, and I decided I was going to tell her on Friday, which was January the 10th. So, January the 10th came, and I had gotten home from work, and I called her in my room, and I told her that I needed to talk to her. And of course, her reaction was like, oh my gosh, is everything okay? Like, what's going on? So I sat her down, and I said, I think it's time for me to go. And she just kind of sat there for a second, and she said, really? Like, literally just like that. Really?
The reason why she's writing like that, really, like, finally you're coming to your senses. Oh, it's our end of siphoning your money is over. Because what do you expect from her?
I said yes. I said what happened with Rob this week really opened my eyes. I said, I want you to know that I'm not leaving because of him. I'm leaving because of you. I was respectful, but I said how I felt. I said, you prioritized his dysfunction over everyone else's well-being. You didn't care about the consequences even when I begged you not to let him come here. You are doing nothing but hurting the girls by allowing him to have a revolving door relationship with them. So she said she was sorry, and she hugged me and cried, and she said she understood. I told her, I said, I'll never heal here. So she asked when I was moving out, and I told her in about 3 weeks, February the 1st. I told her that I couldn't be there anymore. The enabling was too much, that she had sat and watched him kill every single part of me for all of this time, but yet still prioritized him, and she didn't listen to me. She said that she would. This was my home, and she made it very clear that it was anything but. She ensured that I was wildly uncomfortable in my own home. It wasn't even an uncomfort. That was a traumatizing experience. She lived with me. She knew I was having nightmares every single night. And at this point, I was on medication for PTSD nightmares, but they would still get through. The dreams would still get through, and they were horrible. They were horrible dreams. And you tricked me. You said he's coming over for a few hours to grab his things and to see the girls. And then when I get there, you tell me that he's staying the night. That could have been told to me on my way home. So I would have turned my ass back around and went back where the fuck I came from. So, 3 weeks I'm moving out.
You guys know they say once beaten, twice shy, right? So in this case, I don't blame Emilio. In this instance that she just narrated, I blame Miss Chastity, and this is why. She's been lied to over and over and over again. So it's her fault for choosing to trust them. Each time they come around, they'll lie to her. She'll catch them in the lie. They'll lie to her that, oh, we don't mean like that. She'll accept. If you guys remember what I said in that episode, that why didn't you make sure that Bob was not there before you left where you were? I was so angry with her in that episode. Like, these people this is not the first time you now knowing them. Like, come on now, come on. I don't know if it's just in Africa that we expect the mother of the man or the mother of the woman to always side their children. Everybody knows that every mother will always side their child. So you expecting a mother to not to side their child, to come and side with you as the outsider, that's like, guys, nah, no, come on. I thought we were adults. Why is this not playing?
At that point, she already had somebody else to take my spot. Somebody else would be moving into my room as soon as I moved out. I know I have not gotten much into this story, nor will I, because I don't want to get into that whole dysfunction. But Emily's stepdaughter's biological mother was the one that was moving in. And prior to this, she had been sleeping on our couch for maybe a couple days at this point. She is nice, but she is very overstimulating and overwhelming. She's loud. She is hyperactive and off the wall. She is also a heavy drinker. And I did not enjoy being around her. Not my ring light just died. That's crazy. Like I said, she was nice and we had good conversation, but I did not enjoy being around her. So she had been sleeping on the couch and that was just a whole thing. Anyway, she was going to be the one moving in. Now, her and Emily were friends. And it was a weird situation of this woman and Emily's soon-to-be ex-husband. They were married, or they were together at some point, and then they had the daughter, which is Emily's stepdaughter. They split up, and Emily and him got together. They got married. They were together for 10 years, and then they split up. But the stepdaughter still lived with us. The stepdaughter still, various reasons. So this is the ex-wife or ex-girlfriend of Emily's soon-to-be ex-husband. And I know it sounds complicated because the dynamics were weird as fuck. But anyway, it was almost as if she wasn't affected by the fact that I told her I was moving. And that's okay. I didn't expect her to fall on the floor and throw a grieving party. I'm happy that she felt secure. But there was a place for someone else already. So when I moved out, she was going to be moving in, and she was going to be looking for a job, and she was going to pick up the bills that I was leaving behind. So Emily wasn't too fucking concerned. So January the 15th is when I told the girls. I had literally been putting this.
Those girls, they are the real victim in all this. Of course, Chastity and Miss Brittany. But see those little girls, like all the children involved in all this whole back and forth. Those children, because let's be honest, those children are they are traumatized until they grow up and seek help for themselves. Do you know what the man has put them through? And Miss Brittany's daughter is even lucky, not like her own cases, but her own is even lucky. She now got a dad that now treats her like a father supposed to, even though it's not her biological father. I don't know if you guys get my point.
It's off for days. I did not want to tell them. I knew what this conversation was going to be like, not only for them but for me. So I told them I was moving. This went about as rough as you're imagining that it did. So we all cried so much. They didn't want me to go. I, during my time there, had acted as a buffer between Emily and them, softening the blows of her strictness and her impatience with them, often advocating for them to do more things, have less punishments. And don't get me wrong, I was a parent. I disciplined when necessary. One of the girls in particular was struggling very hard in school because she was just being careless and disrespectful, and she was constantly on punishment. She was constantly grounded. We had some issues with her. So it wasn't like I was bailing them out of jail and letting them get away with whatever, but the rules were very strict in my opinion, and there were a lot of things I was uncomfortable with. Once again, I still felt at times like an outsider in this home, and I'm just coming into the family, and Emily had them for so long. I let her take the lead. Of course, she has raised these children for very, very many years. And she did ask my opinion, and I inserted when necessary, and she took my advice and she listened to my opinions. But when it came to the final say, Emily always had that, as I would expect. With that being said, she was way too hard on the girls, and it was apparent. And I'm not going too much into detail with why I feel that way, the things that caused me to feel that way, but there were a lot of things I was uncomfortable with. I'm just going to put it that way. So with me gone, there would be nobody to do that. There would be nobody to be this buffer for them. The little one cried the most. She said that she waits at the door every day for me when I come home. And she always did. She was always there, waiting for me at the front door when I came home for work. And she said if I didn't live there anymore, there would be no one to wait for. And my heart absolutely broke. Have you guys ever made an impossible decision that broke your heart, even though you know it was the right decision? This is the predicament I was in. I had to go. And I told you guys many, many videos ago when I finally separated from Rob that I wasn't leaving the girls, but I knew that this was not sustainable. I knew that this day would come. I just didn't know when. But after everything we had been through, after all of the love, after all of the trauma I had been through, and genuinely some days the girl snuggling with me in bed was the only thing that got me through. There was nothing to soften this blow. There was nothing to prepare me for the moment I told them that I was leaving them. Let's get into the next part. Part 77.
Like, my heart literally breaks for those children. Only God knows how many women have come into their life and gone like this. Miss Chastity is even one that, noticed them and, acted right by them. So I'm just imagining how heartbroken it must have been for them. Those children, my heart breaks for them. Well, guys, I'll see you in the next episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.